Hi guys, it's Amanda here and welcome to the studio. Welcome to another Friday and Inspirational Shorts, where I share with you a particular supply, tool or book that I'm using, that I have used, just to give you a little bit of inspiration to see whether it's something that you would like to use yourself in your creative practice. If you want to see a tutorial for any of the products that I share, then leave a comment. So yeah, let's get on with today. Today we're going to be talking. Hello and welcome to today. Today I am reviewing the Conte Pastel Pencils. Yeah, so let's go. So today, these pastel pencils. Now I obtained these from a friend who she used to do some brilliant, it's my best friend. She used to do some brilliant pastel paintings. They were beautiful. She would do kind of sunrises, sunsets, and just beautiful. And I said to her I was thinking of getting some pastels, and she gave me these. And the Conte, this is a set of 20, and they're hard pastels. Now, what do I like about them? I like the fact that they're in a pencil form, and you don't get your you don't get your hands dirty. I've still got this issue with the hands, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad now. So with a hard pastel, it's gonna go on. It's not going to go on as smoothly as the soft pastel, and you might have to apply a lot more pressure. But actually, they're not bad in terms of the colour. The great thing about these is that you can, as you've seen, you can see me doing, use them on the side like this. The only thing that you may have to worry about is them breaking off, and I've got examples of sharpening the pencil and it just breaking off as I go along. So I haven't been able to use that colour, but I actually like the way that these go on. I'm using the more textured side of a pastel paper, and yeah, and they're going on quite well, and I'm just going to start blending some of these. There's not as much dust that's created as with the softer pastels. And these seem to be quite well, highly pigmented. I'm not a pastel expert. I've just used them for around 100 days. I've had them for years, and I did the pastel challenge, and a pastel 100 days of pastels, and I got to know them really well. And so I'm going off the basis of having used the supply for an extended period of time and made it my own, in the sense that, you know, in terms of this, my style of working, how I would use supplies anyway, and using the pastels to suit my needs. So coverage isn't too bad. I like the fact that they're not as dusty, but again, I guess, I mean, there's still dust, you're still having to deal with dust, but yeah, I do like the colours that come with the pastels. And so this is one that broke off. Actually, there is quite a bit. I said, oh no, there's not as much dust, but it's absorbed back into the paper. I mean, when you draw, and you wouldn't necessarily, yeah, when you're drawing or adding colour to an area, put that there, you're having to press, but then you're reabsorbing the colour back onto the paper. I know some people might dust it off, but I use a lot of, I do a lot of faces, so I'm creating shading and colour, and I would deem this as playing with my pastels, because unless you play with them, you then don't get a good idea as to what they can do for you, and how, you know, okay, when you do go to blend, how best is it to blend? So I find this set of 20, I like the range of colours that it comes in. It gives you a good variety of colours to work with. If you're creating faces, or even if you were kind of, you know, creating landscapes. And I would, when I first start out, a lot of my faces as pastels, I would just lay down bits of colour. So there's still, I would still need to shake this off. Yeah, there's quite a bit there. But the colours are not as vibrant as, it's like so sunny in here. The colours are not as vibrant as the softer pastels, but it still has its place as useful to have in your toolkit if you've got a few hard pastels. And in terms of, you know, creating, you know, if you had to create specific shapes with these as a pencil, you've got the point and then you've got the flatter edge that you can use. Okay, so yeah, I would say that this is a, I'm glad I've still got this set, because it's a really wide range of colours that you've got here. I have to try and be more careful with my pastels. I say my pastels now. I have to be more careful with the pastels because, as I've shown you, they can break easily. And I used to be very rough with some of my supplies, especially my Inktense pencils, and it was funny. Somebody remarked on a video I did, and I was just like, I never thought about it. You know, I didn't think about what I was doing. I was just like putting them back in like a container, and I kind of like just threw them in there, and I was but it was, what I've learned is that, yeah, you break the nibs. If you're not careful, you'll break the nibs. And then, like, I haven't been able to use this one because I haven't been able to sharpen it enough, because it keeps breaking. But the thing to do as well, which is what I've done, I've got a little container which has got the nibs that are broken, so I can still utilize these. It's not been wasted. So all in all, it's useful to have both soft and hard. For me, it's useful to have, and I hope that you're able to go out and experiment and to even try some of these pastels. I think these ones do come they do come as single. Most of the pastels you can buy as individuals, so maybe buy, you know, maybe buy a few, you know, 3 colours and see how you get on, or, you know, some of the other colours that come as part of the set, and I'm sure they probably come in 100 if not more, a wider selection than 20. But yeah, it's, as I say, something useful to have in your supply kit if you're going to use pastels. There are so many varieties of pastels, it's useful to be able to try more than one variety. So I like these, and I like the effects I get. It's very muted effect on the paper. Again, the colour of the paper makes a difference, so you would definitely need to experiment and see what effect you like better. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there and go and enjoy some of the sunshine that's streaming through this window, and I hope that you found that useful. I'll leave all the links to where you can get the pastels from, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.